By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Acapulco and Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. Yeah, all things reactions. I'm gonna repeat that again. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Acapulco and Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. So make sure if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications. If you like content like this, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications because more content is on the way. So you are notified there and then. Do you understand how it go? All right. So as you can see, the title. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So yeah, obviously, let's get straight into it. No delays. Obviously, reacting to Diddy's the docu-series regarding Diddy. Um, so Sean Combs, make sure this is working actually. Yeah, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, episode 4. Yeah, which is called Blink Again. Do you know them Wednesday where some people were asking, "Oh, is Blink Twice about Diddy?" You know what I'm saying? Now it might be, it might not be. Who knows? Who knows? But shout out to Zoe Graphics. Um, but yeah, let's just get straight into it. As you can see, man, that's the I actually use my earbuds just to let you know. It will be the same situation as me reacting to episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. So you should already know what the drill is, yeah? For this is just for copyright situations. It is what it is. But anyway, so as you can see, the title is called Blink Again. So Combs accusers step forward with shocking claims of, I can't even say that word, triggering and federal investigations that lead into his 2024 arrest and high profile trial. Yeah, so that's the synopsis or the brief synopsis of this episode. So as you can see, I'm gonna turn them. I'm gonna get my earbuds on and just watch this. Yeah, react to this. It's clear that I'm gonna have to summarize some parts. And okay, you know when you put on your earbuds, yeah, and it's only that's better. All right, so yeah, man, let's just let me watch this, react to this. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. This will be interesting. And we look for all the good portions. And yeah, let's go. So as per usual, just like just like the first episode, just like the second episode, just like the third episode, it starts how it ended, more or less where it mentions it starts how it starts and starts how it ended. I mentioned, but basically, just the backdrop of in 2025, Sean Combs was tried in federal court on charges including RICO, trafficking and violation of the Mann Act. He was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engaging under the Mann Act and acquitted of remaining charges. He was sentenced to 50 months in prison with time served. And anyone who wants to say, oh, he was just jailed for being a freak. No, no. Can you not see what he was convicted of? It's a crime. Like, how simple must it get? And how clear must it get? It is a crime. What he's been convicted of. Come on. Think, people. Think. Let's go. Okay, so obviously there's just a clip of it obviously seemed like it stays before yeah, it even says it stays before well it says in September 2024 Sean Combs had a videographer follow him while in New York City. During this time Sean Combs was under federal investigation. The filmmakers obtained this footage after Sean Combs was arrested.
So when people ask, how did Diddy get that footage? How did 50 Cent get that footage? How did 50 Cent get the footage? A good journalist never reveals their sources. However, the filmmakers obtained this footage after Sean Combs was arrested. It is what it is, really. Capricorn Clark is talking and she's saying, I know you, Puff. I know you hide things well. I know you bury things well. I know you lie well. All right? And you know when people get into trouble, yeah? Well, when some people get into trouble, oh, it's now you want to bring up God? And don't get twisted, there's been times when Sean Combs has mentioned God. But which God are you praying to? Because it can't be the same God I'm praying to. It can't be the same God I'm talking to. You know what I mean? Because all I'm saying is, you have to be humble. You have to, you know what I mean? Because he moves like from what it seems like from the past 3 episodes that we reacted to, right? It almost seems like he feels like he can do things and get away with it because he's got away with other things in the past. So it's like okay, he feels that he felt as though he could get away with this, but the only problem is he didn't realize that he's not going to get away with it. Let's go. That's an interesting thing. We'll put him in a room with people who don't know him, and he's the most powerful man. But if you're in a room alone with him, this is what he says. He literally says that's small. And when you think about it, from the images they've shown, and it's mad, obviously, context matters clearly, but he clearly looks nervous. He clearly looks nervous, like nervous, like nervous, worried. All the skeletons are coming out of his closet. Everything he buried 6 feet under is coming back to life to haunt him. Listen, you can't put. Let me tell you one analogy. Yeah, you can't sweep things under the rug and expect that everything is clean. Eventually, the more you sweep under the rug, you get it. The more you sweep under the rug, eventually, the things you swept under the rug are gonna come to surface. So just bear that thought. Okay, yeah, she more or less alluded to this in her statement when she stood trial. This is why I was confused. If you worked for Suge Knight before, why in hell would you want to go work for Diddy? Why? He's not the only guy or not guy, but he's not the only label that to work off in 2004. He's not. He wasn't. You could have went. You could have worked for Def Jam. Am I right or am I wrong? What other labels were in 2004? Let me figure this out. Let's figure this out together. Let's figure this out together. What record labels? I'm gonna put what hip hop record labels existed in 2024. In 2004, there was a wide array of hip hop record labels were active, ranging from major that were part of large conglomerates to independent. All right, so there's Aftermath. Again, you could have worked for Aftermath Entertainment. You could have worked for Aristar. Okay, technically you were working with Aristar. You're working for Sean Combs. Anyway, you could have worked with Atlantic Records. You could have worked with, well, you did work with Bad Boy. You could have worked with Cash Money. Again, that will be a tricky situation because you know how Cash Money is. Def Jam is also tricky because of Russell Simmons, but yeah, we'll move, take it forward. There was Unit, there was Good Music, there was Jive Records, there was Interscope, there was Rap A Lot, Rockefeller Records, Rough Riders, Shady, Top Dog. Well, Top Dog was just more or less founded in 2004, so I can understand. There's TVT. So what are we saying? Because I find it hard to believe that, you know, she couldn't go elsewhere. But not that she couldn't, I'm not saying she couldn't, she never said that. She never said that she couldn't go elsewhere. I'm just saying, like, you see when it comes to record labels, right? And the music industry, and you already know that who you work with, yeah, if someone you work with has had a problem with that different way. We already know, obviously it's an individual isolated problem, right? However, unfortunately, more lives have been lost within that situation. So sometimes it's better to stay out of that situation so you don't put your life in jeopardy as well. That's another thing. So my first thought is knowing if you work for Suge Knight, why the hell would you work for Diddy? Knowing that it was Diddy's crew, or I say crew, but they, you know what I mean, allegedly were involved with the situation that happened to Jake. Allegedly. Yeah, I'm using the word allegedly. And then you have to take into consideration, hang on, what about the time um when Suge Knight, actually no, let me not do that. Let's look at it from another perspective. If you look at the timeline of events, then you have the situation after that Quad Studios, okay, people wasn't signed to that record label yet, but you're not signing with Sugar label, but or associated with Sugar label, and you know what I mean. You do the math. Leave your answer in the comments below. Would you still work for Diddy, knowing all of these things transpired? And you got to remember the situation in '96 also didn't happen with Tupac. The situation with, come on now. To me, just common sense. You wouldn't want to work with the op. But why does this always happen? If it was just set anyway, I won't be able to. Let's go. Okay, her relationship was with his baby mother. This is her best friend. Hold on. And she's like, hey, he's like, hey, she's repeating, hey, I don't know you had anything to do with Phil. It's like something happened, and then I you know, I don't know what happened. Would be in a that part, if you know one around. So there, what I mean. Okay, okay. Now it makes sense, yeah. Sorry if I'm not coherent. So basically, um, she said verbatim exactly what Suge Knight allegedly said to her. And she said this in her testimony, so, she's got no reason to lie. What, like, you know what I mean? She's got no reason to lie. But let's keep it moving. She never told anyone. She never told the police. No, here's the thing. Leave your answer in the comments below. If you were in Capricorn Clark's situation, like God forbid that you were in that situation, you know what I mean? But if put yourself in her shoes, would you tell the police? If your life was threatened, would you tell the police? Or what would you do? Because there's a thing of fight or flight. There's flight, there's fight where you are. There's two ways for me looking at flight, yeah. Fight or flight. Yeah, fight where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm gone. Yeah, no, yeah, it's flight. So yeah, it's like I'm gone. Let me do something else because I ain't about to. You know what I'm saying? However, then there's a situation of flight, but where you're in fear. You're in so much fear that you're like, I'm going to have to prove him wrong. So I somewhat understand it because it's so easy for us to be like, oh, if I was in their shoes, you know what I mean? That it's so easy for us to do that. But when you're in that situation, which God forbid that you are, but like then you will know what to do or not do. You know what I mean? You just move. You know what I mean? You know that when you just you wake up and parts of your body is moving, but you are just literally moving your body. You're not instinct like everything is instinct at that point. It's not like a self-conscious thing. Let's go. Okay. All right, so Capricorn Clark is saying she had a lot of history dealing with addict personality. Mother was addicted to dealing with somebody. So basically, her mother was dealing with that white stuff, and I say that white stuff, that white powder, I say it like that, and doing that 5 days a week from her recollection. So by the time you're 23, she's on the life, she's lost her life, which is sad, and it makes you wonder, like as much as many people have made money from that, it's like a lot of lives have been lost in regards to that. It's mad. A lot. So Diddy's actually admitting, he literally says verbatim, I have a reputation that I may be hard to work with or hard to work for. And that's the truth. So Capricorn Clark wrote a book. Well, she's saying that Diddy made her write a book about how to assist and Sean Combs. I mean, in a way, if it's a genuine business thing, it's smart because then it's like it will keep you on your toes so you make sure you stay in the job. That's one thing. But it also is back up for if you need rest, you get to hire. Anyway, I could be wrong about these things. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is let's see what happens here. Let's go. So they're showing a picture of her, Beast Out, and Andre Harrell. Why is he? Never mind. Rest in peace, Andre Harrell. But each to their own. Let's go. Okay, 2008. She's worked with him from 2004 to 2012, so she feels like she knows him more than most people, which would make sense because if you are someone's assistant, you will see their personality day in day out. There's no way you can see. There's no way you're not going to be able to see certain things. You get it, especially of Diddy's magnitude. When I say magnitude, I mean the fact that he's basically a 24/7 type of person, especially on those. Let's go. Break it up with the game, make it again under your skin, get it back in your face, break it up with the Damn, damn. Now they just on their work, so you know what? At the BET, the irony of him wearing red. Obviously, the whole what's mad is the whole scenery is red. You know what I mean? Little Rod was speaking just then, and then now you've got Kanye West. Kanye West is another madman, but that's for another day, for another subject. But like, um, yeah, I don't know how and why he's wearing this mask. Like, I don't know. I don't know for Kanye. See, Little Rod just said something very important. You know where some people that are, they're demolishing our kings, they're doing this, and he's like, man, what Puff did to you? You know what I mean? For you to feel like there's a campaign against him. Yeah, there's going to be a campaign, or I didn't say that campaign against him, but yeah, there's going to be a campaign against someone who has done evil deeds towards other people. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's obvious. Like, you know what? There's some things that are so obvious, but people turn a blind eye to it because they feel that there's nothing they can do, or even if they feel they can do something, it jeopardizes whatever they want from that situation, or you know what I mean? Like it's yeah, everyone has their own personal agendas. That's one thing I've learned in this life. Is when everyone has their own agenda to do what they want. Okay, the thing is, people in the mindset. That's exactly what they just said. Okay, the little Rod just said he didn't realize this until like a year later after working with him that all of this is a plan. So let's get into what he's talking about because he also filed a lawsuit against Diddy as well. September 2022, studio called up Popcorn and that time for the album. The never have been good. All right, see the album title itself was very telling. Do you know why? It almost felt like he was trying to be ahead of ahead of the curve. You ever how do I explain it? It almost felt like he knew that eventually he will soon be arrested for the things that he's been doing. It almost felt like he knew this. And I know we shouldn't compare life to what we see on TV in terms of TV shows or movies and stuff like that. But in some TV shows, it's like whenever the person gets close to getting caught, For example, in some narcotic type of shows, they have someone on the payroll. So they got an inside woman or inside man and they're helping them. Do you understand? I'm not saying this is what Diddy has done or was doing. I'm not saying that. I'm just using TV as an example. Yeah, I'm only using it as an example, okay? Because listen, lawsuits, I want to be careful with certain situations. So it almost felt as though with a title album called Off the Grid, the love album Off the Grid, what does off the grid mean? Why are you like why is Diddy using that terminology? If he's so much of a proud black man, as he likes to say, and uh, black empowerment, and black this and black that, then why are you saying off the grid? What's the real reason? Come on, man, let's keep it real. Think about it. If you're gonna go off the grid, what would you want to do? You want to be isolated from everything else. That's what it means. Off the grid means isolated from a certain lifestyle, certain world. But why? Why? Answer that question. Okay, I ended up working with Diddy because he said multiple incidents of all the people. Okay, this is the detail of something. One day he had headphones on, he's working. Alright, he started to see, we don't know his full name. But he's interested and going to the bathroom together. Moment, I heard boom, boom, two shots. I'm like, yeah, so this is probably, the bathroom. I don't know, open the door, to the I don't know if the footage they just showed as well was actual genuine footage of there's like literally blood on the dance floor. I said blood on the dance floor. Yeah, I literally thought Michael Jackson song. There's blood on the dance floor, and they did blood on the dance floor doesn't mean actual blood on the dance floor. We'll get to that another day. So if you're Michael Jackson, man, stay tuned. I've got Michael Jackson content coming soon. You know what I mean? More Michael Jackson content. But aside from that, the same point. So blood on the bathroom floor was I don't know if that's a genuine footage from Little Rock because he was literally filming everything, and that's one of the smart things to do, filming everything. I don't know whether that was his call or Diddy's call. Diddy might have had the co-sign, but hey, it's still everything. Maybe because Diddy's such a narcissist. Um, but yeah, that's mad. That's mad. And also, that's the sad, isn't it? Growing up in the hood, people put and look at the time. Immediately, I'm like, yeah, you can't see me, and then just start acting up. I guess I don't know what it's saying. I'm gonna go put that shit back down at the weekend, the same time. It's not in. You look at this, and it's not well. So this is that. And it's in my big time. So just make kind of a police to the right. That's it. Yeah, that is it. Doesn't have to. Doing it. It's an option. I've been in the secretary. Fahim. You know what I was listening to? Blood on the dance floor, blood on the dance floor. Fahim Muhammad. He also had association with Michael Jackson. Hold up for a minute. Hold up. You think I'm playing about? What's this? Fahim Muhammad, yeah? That's his name. So Did Fahim Muhammad work for Michael Jackson? Yes, Fahim Muhammad worked for Michael Jackson as the head of security. He was one of the first people to find the singer's body on the day he died in June 2009 and testified during the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray. All right. The question is, let's put this into perspective. When did Fahim Muhammad start work for Michael Jackson? This is key information here. Fahim Muhammad began working for Michael Jackson in 2008. In 2008, I need you to understand timeline. The reason why I need you to understand the timeline is because, hang on for a minute, I know, let me be careful with the words I'm about to say here. You see Michael Jackson here? Michael Jackson was a very intelligent guy, from my understanding. And he knew and he felt, and he's spoken on it numerous times, they're out to get me, they're out to get me. This is even pre-2008, he's saying this. And it's always, unfortunately, in these situations, always someone that's close to you. You understand what I'm trying to say? Even if you look at the whole Tupac situation, Reggie Wright Jr. is the head of what security team? The owner, the record label he was associated, head of security. So this is why some people want to blame Suge Knight, but it's not Suge Knight's fault. He told the head of security to put more bodyguards on Tupac. He told him. Now, watch this, yeah? If I'm saying, and we're saying Reggie Wright Jr. was head of security that night in regards to Tupac, keep this in mind. Fahim Muhammad began working for Michael Jackson in 2008. His initial role was a bodyguard and driver and later became the chief of Jackson's security team. So how do you go from a bodyguard and driver? Okay, fair enough, bodyguard is one thing, driver is one thing, but you can combine the two jobs together. So I want to know how he became the bodyguard, and I want to get into that another day for another time. But now, we're going to ask, when did he start work for Diddy? Fahim Muhammad started working for Sean Diddy Combs in 2013 after Combs moved to Los Angeles. And it still repeats here. Muhammad had previously worked for head of security for Michael Jackson from around 2008 until Jackson lost in 2009. He then took external capacity for Diddy, and the way they have worked together ever since. My question is, if you're head of security and something has happened to someone like Michael Jackson, you're not working for me. I don't care. I don't care. You're not working for me. You're not working for me. You're just not. You're just not working for me. You can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. Simple and plain. Leave your answer in the comments below. Would you trust someone like that? And anyway, let's keep it moving. So basically, Roger confirmed that somehow Diddy was able and Fahim Muhammad were able to make this situation all go away. That's mad interesting. And he said, that shook me. I'm still shook. And this is that Quad Studio situation. It says Reggie Wright Jr. wasn't head of security. Well, he was. Was he still head of security for? Yeah, I think he still was. But obviously, Tupac wasn't signed to Bad Boy. Became obviously we tried to find for it never was, but we'll get into that for another day, another topic. But he was never he was wasn't signed to or affiliated with Suge Knight just yet in terms of um Death Row Entertainment or Death Row Records, should I say. You know what I mean? So interesting that. That's it for me. But Justin walked out with confidence. And I remember, I remember when that news came out, when that news broke. I believe it was Tissa Tells that broke that. Was it Tissa Tells or Impressive? It was one of them. It was one of those two. That's all I remember. I was like, raw. But I'm not surprised. But eventually the truth will come out. That's the report showed up. Because all the public is different. And they were reporting and left. But this is the thing. They may have told something different, but I still remember that story. That it happened in the bathroom. Okay, so they did it. I don't know what it's like. And if you know everyone was acting like it never happened. This is interesting, yeah, because I wonder if the person is still alive. I wonder if I don't know if he can put in a lawsuit against Diddy and or not just say Diddy. Let's not just say that, right? Let's say because we don't know who will have who pulled the trigger. We don't know the full scope of the situation. All we know is somebody got hurt. You know what I mean? That's all we know. We can't say for a date of this is exactly what happened. We don't know. But we can say someone did get hurt to the point where they were in the ambulance. Now, whether that person was to come out now or in the near future to talk his talk and get justice the way that he deserves, it's up to him. But again, trauma. You notice most people don't talk about their situation for months or years later because they have to. They don't want to relive the trauma. It's not an easy thing to deal with. Other that's what for certain people like Boston. You're gonna be great people. It's mad that some people feel that way. I mean, wait, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. I understand his perspective, yeah, but you're telling me in 2022, this is all in the late, well, I'm talking about in that era, right? Are you telling me you did not know that Diddy is in connection with not paying artists and producers properly? Because surely you must know that information. And by the way, you're hearing knocking, banging, all of that. Listen, that's beyond what I can do. You know what I mean? I don't know whether it's coming from up, left, right. I don't know where it's coming from. Let's just stay focused on this. Let's go. So what can Justin Bieber say? That's interesting. So Puff wanted moments to feel that Michael Jackson can't help it. Now this is interesting. You're working with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber had a we weren't talking to that right now, but if you know, you know. That's why I'm confused that Usher's not in this documentary so far. Justin Bieber is in the documentary, but not talking. But well, he's talking, but it's just a video clip of him singing this. So this is not interesting. So maybe Fifty got something else that he's cooking where he's realizing, you know what? Let me get one with Mary, Guy Speaking, Little Kim Speaking, like, all these people. Let me go. You got it. He made 5 versions of it. It's so hard when I played that song. He danced for probably 4 hours straight. Talking about Diddy dancing. That's that song. The better close who did it. Just a minute in the studio. No one was saying. And we got that moment. That's interesting. So once again, there's nothing new under the sun where I'm saying inspiration because Michael Jackson is inspiration for many. But if once again he wants a sound for someone else to sound like, and it kind of, I'll say it slightly kind of makes sense for Justin Bieber to try and get into that tone, if that makes sense. But it's interesting to see Justin Bieber work with Diddy despite the situation. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's mad. It's mad. It's remind me to work it out. This is exactly what a little Rod is still speaking. So this is seem like this segment just seemed like it's just a little Rod segment. That's what it just seemed like for now. He did that bit. You know what? Wait, because he's actually recorded. No, no. I got to say exactly what he was recording lyrics up clearly, and this is what he says. Yeah. No, no, hang on. Never lie to you. Life ain't perfect. You just live it. Fuck what they say. We did. You just did it. What did you just do? The man was just trying to locate the city. That's what they were saying. The working with it. They were working with something. Because the person is there. Okay, so Little Rock provided the filmmakers with the footage of his 30 months working with Holmes. And then that was into the film. It took us 7 months to record. Hey, yo, are you taking 7 months to record 8 bars? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Like 8 months, 7 months for 8 bars? I mean, I know you may be busy, but damn, it's like a bar every month. Literally. That's literally a bar every month. I hear it just rubbish. How about you were never that good in the first place, and you have other people write to you, and you try to emulate that, and then you did them dirty, so now they're no longer in your team, so now you don't have them in your team anymore, so now you have fallen off. How about that? Did you ever think about that, Diddy? No. Anyway, I'm gonna feel like I'm walk. What's wrong with this guy? Listen, let me keep on saying. This more to go through. I can only compare myself to the son of God. No, you're the son of the devil. But anyway, let's keep moving. Okay, now look what it's saying. He literally said, yeah, I didn't realize it, but he was definitely grooming. He promised them $350,000. That's what next door. Another thing, very something. Someone meditating. Oh! I need to get through this reaction. I need to get through this because I'm normally scheduled to be around this time, but this is mad. No, 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 no. Mm-mm, 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 mm. All right, let's just keep it moving. They're showing the good thing they're doing in this thing is they're showing clips. I say clips, but they're showing imagery of the lawsuit. This is mad. So he was told to go to a strip club in Miami, and they basically put him on this recruiting his networkers, and this is a routine. How do you know? This is nothing to do with it. This is the only way you can make this album. Yeah, this is the people and Justin, and then with multiple women. Alright, so Justin Combs has been caught up in two things. Justin Anthony Walker. No, I'm joking. Let me not do that. Justin has been implicated in two things. I don't know about you. Can you swear in front of your parents? How do you take that? How do you make a separate? Make a separate. What the point just hit a nail on the head. You see how these people are banging? I don't know if they're banging nails on something. I don't know. But this is literally what this is literally the truth. Yeah? I'm gonna say it verbatim what it says. It said that the father you doing this for the company, you still going to the patients that you're doing. And you have to have you can never know if that's deep. Little brother literally just mentioned he was on these products. TC, White Stuff, or Molly. whether it's new or not. No, he's the devil, but let's keep that moving. There's a bunch of little pockets in there. There's hidden cameras everywhere. And now they're playing TD Cake. I'm sorry, TD Cake, TD Jake. I can't say his name properly. TD Jake. He who had no sin became sin. That's what he said. The city just watching on camera. So woke up, he said one day there was girls next to him, next day and some days he was in the bed referring to Diddy. My God, what the hell is going on? He said he wakes up feeling, oh no, I can't repeat that. I'm not repeating that. I'm not repeating that. I'm not repeating. Let's put it this way, he's got a lawsuit out there, and if you want to read the lawsuit page by page, that's only at your own time. I can't repeat the things he's saying and the things that are literally there. I can't do that. I literally can't. I can't. This is making my stomach turn, and I'm already in as it is. No. Mm-mm. Gotta confess. And I hope to be more honest. A woman, a woman, you find out. So does this mean, yeah? Remember with R. Kelly's situation, yeah, before he got arrested and got convicted, a documentary came out. Does this mean that eventually Christina Cohen, you know what I mean? Because she never got arrested, nor did she even testify, which is what I was very surprised about. Even if she was testifying in the defense for Diddy, we would understand. You understand? We would understand because, it is what it is, isn't it? That's what, if he's, I don't want to say if he's innocent, I don't want to use that term, but like, no one stood for Diddy. Nobody. That was a telltale sign. However, the prosecution team could have made us take the stand. I don't know what's going on. This is why you have to question a lot of things. Is the case that Diddy was convicted of, the cases he was convicted of, are they just small seeds for the seed to be watered? Because and then once they watered, then they soon blossom. You see what I'm trying to say? And obviously, I'm using blossoming, and it's a good terminology you get what I'm talking about in terms of. But obviously, we know these are bad and evil people, allegedly. So I don't know. Let's go. I think the football coaches in the that's a tactical question. The football story. Oh wow, wow. Hey, listen. Yeah, listen. You know why I said a lawsuit may happen? I don't know a lawsuit. I never said a lawsuit can happen. But I'm saying, I think I've mentioned about the seed being planted. He literally has footage, and he was filming this footage himself whilst he got fed up with the videographer to film it for him. But he alludes to saying that KKK was in this too. Let's see that verbatim. verbatim. Okay, help me out. You want me to speak, okay? And when you say, yes, okay, okay. There you go. There you go. There's a lot of things. You know what they said? There's a lot of things happen to him that he doesn't want to speak to. And now this is Diddy speaking. Yeah, he's saying it's in the video that obviously little Rod was filming. They said his name is Little Rod, but I'm calling him Little Leon. Yeah, no, no. He's just a draft pick with the new hitman, you know. He's got a great talent. Look at that nigga. Little that. Okay. That's very good. Yeah. Okay, Little Rod said he's trying to do everything to make sure everything in the album still makes it. And he's trying to fake the funk. That's a mad situation to be in. That's a mad situation. It's like it's for months. Yeah, I was the he's playing the voice note of Diddy saying he's basically gaslighting, basically. Let him know, can't get it done today, but I'll keep it 100, I'll get it done soon, basically. Basically. Rule number one of business. Either you get paid 50% up front or order the money first and then you do the work. Or, well, it should be 50% up front regardless, because then if they do you dirty after you've done the work, at least you got paid 50% of it. You get what I'm trying to say? And then obviously there's a contract drawn and they breach the contract, guess what happens? You are able to take them to court over the contract dispute to breach the contract. Simple. Obviously, you need lawyer fees, but that's another day for another story. But obviously, if you don't have the lawyer fees, you can include that in your lawsuit. That if you win, which you should be able to win, they also have to pay for your lawyer fees. Very simple. That okay. So Capricorn Clark is saying he wants he, he wants you to feel like there's a carrot being dangled. So he doesn't want to pay them, but he wants you to feel like a carrot being dangled. But to me, it's like there's something you have to look at and be like, when you're doing music or doing any form of creativity and you're working for or working with someone, you gotta make sure you get paid like halfway at least. At least the bare minimum. I know it sounds mad, yeah, but you have to. And if they're not willing to pay you that money, don't work with them. If they can't, again, apologies for the knocking and all that stuff there. I can't avoid that. You know what I mean? But anyway, as I was saying, if they can't pay you that 50% up front, then it's to tell you there and then they're not going to pay you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your finances. They don't care what you got going on. You see what I'm going to say? Yeah, you can also make money in other means, but when you're doing the creative process with that person, but if they're not willing to pay you that money, it just shows you they don't care. I'm going to repeat it one more time. If they're not willing to pay you at least 50%, they're not going to pay you. They don't care. Let's go. Another voice. So now, yeah, Little Rod is saying he was calling him, calling Little Rod left, right, like. I don't need no your kid's birthday. Your kid's birthday. No, 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 no. No. Anyway. Okay. This is birthday. All right. So, all right. This is another one from Diddy. Another voice note. There's many voice notes from him. Man, he says, "You know, I've never seen or meant nothing but love for you. You never, 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 never think you want to think about it. Yep, it's kind of thing. Making this known. No, God, 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 God. Hey, hey. If it wasn't for copyright purposes, I wish you could see this. Actually, no, I don't even wish you could see this. Hey, what the hell is going on? Let me keep it moving. No. What the hell? What do you mean by no? I don't even want to repeat that. What? Hold on. Damn. Hey, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Say, yeah, like, hold on. No, I have to do this. I don't know if you're going to do this. I'm going to see if you can. Hold on. Bear with me, people. No, 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 no. Because I don't know why, yeah. Give me a second. I need to do this. I have to do this. Let me see if you can see this. Okay, I don't know if I can see it. Give me a second. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna keep it moving. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving. Comes on. Exactly what the benefit. You know what they're saying is now time for him to stand up for justice. He has to tell himself that. And this is like literally off. This is after he saw Cassie's situation, and it's amazing how it takes one person to knock. It's just a domino effect, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Wow. So the person that was filming, yeah, this is what's so mad. We're going to say this verbatim. Hold on. Verbatim. So there's Mark Agnavold, Diddy's attorney, yeah. So what's this? This is mad, yeah. This is mad. So so they actually go to the prosecutors. This guy committed another crime. So people are scared, right? So you got Mark Agnes Leo. So he's the person that said they actually go to the prosecutors. This guy committed another crime. And then so Fahim Mohammed is there, Christian Combs is there, Justin Combs is there. All right. And obviously I think Jimmy's there as well, but it's just for now you can just see those three. Fahim, Christian and Justin. Just bear that in mind. And he says, and I would do the same thing with Little Rod. Go to the prosecutors, the first package together. And what he said. And then Fahim, Fahim Mohammed says, hey, you shouldn't be recording. Why? Why is it like if you're innocent or if you're, the person you're working for or with is innocent, why shouldn't you not be recording? Because clearly he said he wants to use this for his own personal use for his own documentary, right? I mean, thankfully it's not going to be used for his own documentary, but you never know. You never know. But either way, look, all I'm going to say is this, yeah. The reality is, why are you asking? What? No, why are you saying you shouldn't record? Record? Why? What do you have to hide? That's the one question I have in my mind. What do you have to hide? And it's like, oh, anyway, so Rodney, Lil Rod, so Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, civil lawsuit was the fifth among more than 100 civil cases filed against Stone Cold, alleging assault or related misconduct. Combs' attorney called Jones' allegation bold-faced lies. I mean, you saw the clip I saw and had the audio I was hearing with the first one. That's not a lie. You know what's mad? I remember when his lawsuit came out. Some people were saying, "Oh, it's a lie, it's a lie," and then they attached it because of one particular attorney he had, and they're like, "Oh, you see, I told you it was a lie." No, it wasn't a lie. You know what I'm gonna say? Like it's one thing to accuse someone of something, but when there's actual evidence in terms of even with the voice notes and all that, when you hear these things, especially that voice note, yeah, that I heard, and I wanted to show you a gif where he goes, just that, brother, no. I wanted to show you that gif in it, but it is what it is. But like, do you see what I'm trying to say? That alone, yeah, I am telling you, that's enough evidence. You don't need no other evidence than that. I'm sorry. That alone means that, yep, you're guilty of that. Whatever he said he did that shit. And as of here, Aaron, the case remains pending. As all of, okay. Okay. So now, all of your day speak is the same. You receive, let me rewind that for a bit so I can get this date on. Hold on. Just a bit more. As of all the civil court to come down, uh, not a lawyer, in regards to an application that I have received from a person that was allegedly a victim of whether it was an assault, whether it was an event or not, as an child, I'm not sure it was that day, it was I was in the phone, that time, including, I don't know if it was life, you know, God, oh, whoa. I didn't say what about it. I like the time, but the when I go to the next report, the first one, the next, the first, I don't know, the news, the happened, the person, okay, so we're doing making the best one of our best. You have to let us have okay, okay. Yeah, it's either to that is that. That's a massive video. Like, oh, it's a person, right? Exactly. So, inebriated. You understand what inebriated means. You know what that means. And she literally says, I didn't drink like that at all at this time. Whoa. Time it. Basically given it for this, given the calculation of this. When you're ready, it's ready. It's on our memory. And that's what after that, man. I can't. I'll be looking out there and it's flying there. Damn, man. So they said, this is still in the air for David. I'm 100% certain that the woman I saw was Aubrey O'Day. 100% certain it is. And that's what it is. Look to her memory. So don't to show you. Even after I told her I didn't have a recollection of this. Hold on. Unfortunately, all day, that's exactly what it means. And it's mad to know that someone witnessed something like that and they're in a situation where they have to, that at that point in time, they try to talk to someone about it. They obviously talk to the wrong person about it. You'd think that that person would help, but they clearly are the wrong person, if you will. And now, years later, God, again, 50 months is not enough. For what Diddy has put a lot of people through, I'm not saying I'm perfect. No way. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But if you're putting people through this, you don't deserve to see the day of light out of jail. He doesn't even deserve to enjoy jail. He shouldn't. He deserves solitary confinement. In fact, if it was up to me, whatever his worst nightmares are, yeah. Anyway, the fact that she's saying she doesn't know who she was, and she doesn't want to know. But the affidavit says what that was. Yeah, that's what she basically she's more or less alluding to the fact of if she thinks that this is a false affidavit, she would try to take this person down, yeah, for false claims. But if she feels that if she was to do that, it will give Diddy's team, legal team, credit going forward that other allegations are must be false and this is false. And it's a mad thing to be in, but one thing we are 100% certain of from what she's saying earlier on, like was it the first episode? I can't remember which episode it was, but well, maybe this one I can't remember. But she more or less did allude to the fact that there was maybe the link. You saw that email, so if you match that email with that affidavit, sorry, Aubrey, sorry, sorry. Yeah, that's all I can say. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. September 11, 2024, 5 days before This is maybe interesting to get. Now, did he say media is the most powerful industry in the world? Wait, he said, "Hey, yo, you think we can hire editor?" Who said that? Was it Diddy or Christian or was it Justin? No way. Hold on. You don't control the narrative, somebody else will control it. Yeah. What do you mean? Of course you did. The rest of them, someone. Something is justice. Something else is justice. Oh, wait. Time out. He takes what now? I don't think nobody even noticed this. Okay, so a prescription bottle in the name of Frank Black, and that contains clonazepam, yeah, which used to be anything and anxiety and panic psychosis. Now, why would you have panic attacks? Why would you have anxiety and you know what I mean? Because you're doing evil deeds to other people. You know, listen, when you do evil to other people and it's unintentional, you can sleep well at night. Yeah, because it's not intentional. But like when you do bad things to other people and you know that bad things come onto you and you know there's consequences to your actions. Yeah, you're not going to be able to sleep well at night. You're going to have panic attacks. You're going to have anxiety. A lot of just detail and everything. The detail and all the things that they found and confiscated and stuff like that. So they're just going through that for now. saying that he contacted a witness over 50 times. So Miss Kalina Harper was the most recent person we hold on. You know what? That was after the thing. So now Kalina Harper's talking. This is I'll give you a breakdown. Then do I got to hit it? Even in the class. It's panicking. The only person who's got this is what she's saying. This is on September the 11th. This guy, no, wait. If this guy is not a psychotic madman, I don't know who is. Because, but then again, maybe he didn't know that days later he was going to get arrested. But I get it. Maybe he think, oh, she must help me because we were in a crew together. You got to help me, please help me. You know what I mean? That's how he's moving. Like, please help me. I'm scared. Yeah. Yeah, really, I understand. That's what when you say something like this, I would expect that they would be at the end just why I just my heart really gets to the floor. This is what now Kalina says. She's caught up with a contentious child custody battle, and now this. She's fucked. She's get out. She's get out. Away. She's not good. She'll bring you back. And so, yeah, yeah, true. It's like the time when she needed help, he couldn't help her, and now he needs help. This is what Raphael saying. Justin, respectfully, calm your little boy. Look, calm your. Go to your room. How about that? Go to your room. You know what I mean? You weren't there. Well, you was, but like, go to your room. You yourself is in trouble, little young man. Young man, you are also in trouble. You hear me? I'm gonna say a stepfather, but I don't. I'm not gonna talk about you. You know what I'm saying? That's not my call to make. You hear me? You hear me? Let's just say this: the person who is your father, who you see as your father, is sheep in wolf clothing. Yeah, God told you to do nothing. So chill, relax. If God really told you to do nothing, just stop trying to force it. I want my Okay. You could have around and not. Damn. That, I didn't do that. I didn't basically, got the people that do this. This is what's so mad. He's been reaching out to people with subpoenas. I think it's recorded that I could say as well. Okay. So yes, yes, yes. This is a good thing. I wasn't second. Not for the media. The person is like that. And you have to ask nobody to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? That's a feel comfortable and it's feel comfortable asking you. Because I know you're there. Yeah. That's it. And you can pretty much catch it. And maybe, you know, yeah, I feel the value. But it's all good. Don't say you gotta put yourself in the same spot. And I respect that, you know. Because what they think is that don't tell you 2020 to do it. They keep it, they keep doing it. Anybody like it. Okay, now it says Kalina Harper from Dirty Diddy Money speaking out in support of this music mogul. Okay. It says many of these allegations are not representative of my experiences and simply not aligned with my own truth. I've got over 200 people before they got them. You see, if there's over 200 people, hey, this is what's so mad. The trial could have been longer than 7 weeks. And I reckon, had it been a bit longer, he would have been guilty of all. I predict he would have been guilty of all charges. That's my humble opinion. Let's go. Let's tell him that he kept coming up. So that's why they got him in. But I know what's going anyway. I was all that's what I was. Yeah, I'm good at questions. Yeah. 2011. I think it's something called Glass Coconut. So December 2011, Papa and myself had moved to Los Angeles. Yeah, the first class came out with me because we left for 3 days. Mm-hmm. The first is stepping up. I was there for him. Good for cutting. Okay, for cutting. Good for cutting. Wake up this morning. Get the first food and cook. With us. So that, oh, and then told me this in my and I said, this is going to be a new ministry problem. Yeah. You know, see, this is when you should have said if he can't go, then he shouldn't go. That's when you say he can't go. Clearly, listen, he can't go. Anyway, he says total normal day. He comes with us in the end. So total normal day. We got off in high. love that kind of video. Sorry, yeah, that's classic one. Like, yeah, definitely. Wow, because I don't do that. Like, I don't do that. Do that thing. Because you satisfy yourself. You don't do it. You can, and it's better than one. That's a passion. That's a thing. That's a look at how she, and look at how, look at the question, that's the side of what happened. Because that, I have to, that's the religion. I think that's really the really wow. And then like a simple everyone. You say nothing, that's crying. You have, and you want to have, his life would have been over there. He would have been in jail for kidnapping in Los Angeles. But damn, damn. And you see, this is precisely what one of the main issues is. You see a problem, and because they for the culture, or they you feel like they do a lot for the culture, you end up in a situation where it's like, well, they do a lot for the culture anyway. And just something sort of definite as a result. Some of that culture is extraordinary. I've been more than in this class, and that's exactly what I was saying earlier. It's not easy for people to go out and tell their story because the natural thing is there's trauma, and then they have to go and doing going to court is one thing, but even before going to court, they have to go through the process of the police. Once they go through the police, and they have to even before that, they have to go through so many processes to they're literally reliving their trauma. So when you wonder why some people don't come out and say things, this is one of the reasons, and it's mad. You know, anyway, like, and it was fine. It was a good story. That's makes that when I take it with the South 3 days of deliberation and jury verdict. To me, 3 days is never enough. Okay, In a trial like this, you cannot tell me 3 days is enough. 7 weeks trial, maybe long, maybe short, depending how you want to say it. But knowing that they interviewed over 200 people or whatever the case is, and they narrowed it down to as little than, I think it was little than under the 10 people, or maybe 15, I don't even know. I don't know the actual number, but over like 200. Come on now. That just lets me know that either, I don't know, I don't know what to call it, but it's mad. 7 weeks is, yeah, it can seem long, and it can also seem short. But a 3 day deliberation just before the 4th of July is when they got their verdict. That lets me know the jury, they didn't have real interest in a case like that. They weren't fully fixated on real justice. You know what's happened. So basically, sometimes he's acquitted of racketeering and trafficking. So those are the things he was not guilty of. They're all guilty on the lesser charges or transportation to engage in. But it's mad when you think about it now. Like his family is smiling, well, and his fans are all smiling. But no, you're still going to jail. Let me ask you something. Do you guys call it a victory for the defense or a victory for the prosecution team? Leave your answer in the comment section below. Because personally, from the way I view it, it's a victory for the prosecution team because you needed the person that you're prosecuting to go to jail. He's guilty of something. It just happened to be 2 out of the 5 charges. And that was 160. And this one, she's a black one. Just say that. And they're only saying different. And that was a juror 75, and this one is, well, he looks Asian, but one of them. I don't want to make assumptions, but put it this way, he looks like Boss Man. You know them ways there. When I say Boss Man, if you're from the UK, you will understand what I'm talking about. I'm not going to keep it like that respectfully, all right? That's what I'm going to say. It's easy for him to do that. Just know he's black. All right, cool. And he's not white either. That's giving you a clue. So anyway, so they asked, do you think the justice was served? I think it's 100%. You see both sides of it. That's Kurt Burrows speaking. Let's keep it moving. Good morning. 8 lawyers. 8 lawyers. I'm not a rapper now, but and then now the other one that is black, he's saying I'm a great I'm of the generation, so he basically grew up. And here's the other thing, yeah. It's always interesting how they find jury selection. How are they picking them and why? You understand? If I remember, there was more men in the jury than there were of women, and that's another thing we have to look at. If I think if there was an equal amount, You never know what the verdict would have been. But I do kind of feel like if there was more women, he's guilty in all parts. You know what I mean? All charges. But yeah. Come on, man. It's not for the first time. Okay, we say Apple. Okay, so first Burrows, yeah, he's saying when the jurors, if you talk about the jurors, yeah, so these people have power over. Well, they're looking at a celebrity for the first time, and they have the power over a celebrity, but that's not how it works. Personally, that's not how it works. They have to do their due diligence. They have to do their job. Is he guilty of these charges based on the evidence and based on the facts and based on the testimonies that were given? You know what I mean? They have to go through that. And again, this is why I said 3 days is not enough. It's the same thing with the contract that Diddy offered. You know what I mean? That Brooklyn Baz was mentioning in regards she was given uh, documents that were basically massive to, to go through, and she had to read and sign it in 24 hours. But a lawyer said, "You don't want to sign this." You know what I mean? Because they're offering you fame, but not the fame and fortune. That's the her word. But it's clearly they're offering the fame, but not the fortune. So you have to. It's the same thing. Am I wrong? Or am I wrong? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let's go. Okay, now Sister Charles is talking. I know her voice because I watch her content often and I see react to more of her content. So shout out to Sister Charles. She says she actually saw a huge PR machine at play. It's going to be I was going to put a little bit of subject so we allow supporting leaders to the right about yeah, and work and live and talk and so you okay. He said, hey, let me see this first. Okay, okay. Everything you send out. I had it apart. We could actually pay attention to. Wow. See, if they can do that to her, imagine what they're doing to other bloggers and trying to pay them to paint this narrative. And it doesn't even surprise me because even Drake pays what's his name? Well, they tried to pay what's this guy's name? I know his name. It's Rob Markman. But Rob Markman for the culture, he's like, no, I'm not into that. You can't pay for you can't you can't pay me like that. You can't. You know what I mean? I can't say these words verbatim, I can't remember. But then fast forward, there was someone else, um, like these streamers or whatever they're called, and I can't remember their names, but basically, Whack 100 confronted them, and he's trying to say he confronted them and let them know. He, basically, it looked exactly what it was. Drake pays them to push a narrative. Do you get it? Anyway, let's keep it moving. So I'm not surprised by this. I find it hilarious that on Mark Agniflow is on CNN when in the first episode, what did Diddy say about CNN? Come on, man. That's how you know you can't take him serious. Come on. Because you might just be a person that you just watch CNN. You know, and there's like 9 billion people in the world and 7 billion of them in Instagram and TikTok. And so you have to go and Facebook and see what the person says. That's exactly what Diddy was saying. And let us know this. This is typical of it. Okay, so this girl says what was happening, they would report their version of events. That didn't happen. And you see, I'm gonna say this is what yeah. This is mad. This is mad. But anyway. No, no way. Someone I used to, no. I used to watch there's one guy that, I don't even know, say who he is. Yo, I'm just grateful that I don't watch that guy. YouTube doesn't even recommend his content to me anymore. Just say that. YouTube know not to recommend his content to me. Okay, anyway, let's keep moving. Yeah, they're rolling clips of basically people who are on his side, on Diddy's side, basically, saying not guilty, Cassie part of it as well, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And now it makes sense to why that narrative was pushed. Do you understand? Uh, so, one of the jurors is speaking, the one that's black women, she's saying, for me, staying out of social media, I think it's very difficult, that in some people, they're like, "Mm, it's happening." Okay, mm, and so, happening. And, what? Okay, what do you mean? Again, see, y'all, is something like more. Yeah. Okay, now one of the other jurors, the one that is not black or not white, but basically he's saying, yeah, you could say he's Asian, but I don't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's a human being. End of the day, he's a man. All right. So he says you didn't. They were asked. Sorry, he was asked. You didn't see any forced fraud or coercion between Cassie and Sean, and he goes, that was very. You know, you know, and that's all it is. So that's that both. That did not answer the question. The question, the question was in regards to see in regard. I forgot what the question was, but basically, it didn't answer the question. It's either yes or no. It's saying, well, yeah, but also you got this situation, but listen, you've got. And here's the thing: I wonder if they're going to talk to every single juror. Let's see. Video. It can be. You see it? He's smart. She's that black juror. Like she's smart. She responded that very well because you have to remember the evidence that the public have seen is mostly going to be the intercontinental video. So He's saying based on that, he can be. He's not basing on any other thing than that. Because he could easily just say, well, yeah, because of this. But no, he's going strictly based off that video. Smart. Smart. Oh, I don't want to watch it. It's just unforgivable. Honestly, you can't do that to a girl like that. It's good. It's like and this is the problem. Domestic violence was a part of the charges because America is a mad place. Let's be real. Different states have different laws. And even though this wasn't a state case or a state trial, the problem was one of the charges wasn't domestic violence. And I want to ask why. Is it because of the statute of limitations? But that doesn't make sense. I thought that only occurred to just the state law. You see how confused I am? Let me look at the time. Anyway, let's keep it moving. You see how the groups are getting back together. The other juror, the male. Yeah, I don't think they spoke. It doesn't seem like they spoke to every single member. He's got the he's got the cheek to have a Michael Jackson thriller signed, you know, framed photo. Then he's got his dad photo and same with anyway. I don't want to talk about that now. You think Biggie and Diddy? Yeah, you think Biggie and Diddy's dad would be proud of Diddy right now? Of course not. Especially his dad. No matter what you may think of his dad won't be proud. No father wants to see his son go through this Anyway, let me keep it moving. Let's not talk about all that. Let's focus on what is. Message. Okay, now this is him talking the drawer, the male drawer. The exchange text messages and like nothing. There's nothing. So now we see what's going on here. We see what's going on here. Here's the thing. Even I wish in this documentary they spoke to that psychologist that spoke at on the case as well, because that's very important. But to be it just seems like sometimes some people don't understand domestic violence situations. Unfortunately, some people just don't understand it. They don't understand it. And one of the things about jury selection and trial, it's mad because you're looking at the public. You're looking at 12 individuals, and they may have no recollection of what the law really is. You understand? They probably didn't even study law in school, let alone college, let alone uni. But they're dealing with cases. You know what I mean? Like like to me, sometimes that I look at things, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Does it make sense? See, the male juror is basically saying, if you don't like something, you can completely get out. It's not as simple as that. It isn't simple. It's like what? Let's use workers and no. I'm going to use school as an example because me, I hated school with a passion. That's not something you can get out of. I mean, you could truant, but best believe it's only going to do you a disservice because you know what I'm going to say. Now, look, you can't completely get out of it. You can't. You have to go through it. I'm not saying that. I can't. I'm not saying you try to compare the two, domestic violence, but I'm just using that as an analogy to point that unfortunately you have to. It's hard. I don't want to say you have to because then that makes someone mad. But the point I'm trying to make is domestic violence isn't something easy for people to get out of. It's not. And I wish more guys in general would understand. And if they don't understand, uh, I don't want to wish this on no one. You understand? I'll keep it simple as that. I'll keep it as simple as that. I want to be careful with the words I'm saying. You know, God knows my intentions. God knows my heart. You know what I mean? The point I'm trying to make is there is no way possible that you should think that it's easy to get out. Have you not been concerned about it? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay, so Sonko, I'm gonna was looking for was looking at the drawers for model. Okay, so now they're asking one of the jurors, the black girl now, or the black woman to say, at one point the judge did reprimand him for nodding at the jury. Yeah, then make eye contact with him. They're also asking the guy as well. He said, no, 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 no. No, they make the whole thing. If the first part of the eye contact or any justice, you're going to lose the job. And the guy also does a kind of thing like this. And with nurse, that's what it was. It wasn't very well like, you know, like the person, this is more than other person. Yeah, oh, we knew where he was. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay, go ahead, the pre-rules. Look what you want. You read that, you read that. You got interesting that she's admitting that, though, that she would have the same facial expressions he would have. He had. That's interesting. I knew she was going to talk. It had to be to do with Capricorn Clock. The only one where technically it kind of felt like it didn't make sense. There was another one that didn't make sense, but this you have to back it up with facts, innit, or evidence. And it doesn't even call. That's all. Capricorn Clock. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I keep on saying it. Re-traumatizing. Relive in the moment. Capricorn Clock is literally saying it. But what happened to that was very emotional. This is what the show is saying. More than a decade. How? 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 No, listen, listen. If there's something that happened years ago and you're telling a story, how can you leave any room for doubt just because you're telling it from an emotional point of view? If the situation is emotional, how can you not get emotional telling the story that you went through? No matter what the story is, but especially a story of being kidnapped. Come on, man. The and I get it. Maybe you the this is maybe they were startup. Maybe because I find it a little hard to believe that that guy didn't know of Diddy and he may not be. I'm not saying you should know rap music because you don't always have to be into rap music or hip hop culture or things like that. But I'm pretty sure you know of Diddy. I'm pretty. If you don't, I don't know where you live in. Because even in India, we have found out that a lot of Indians are into hip hop music, into hip hop culture. I mean, Elon Musk helped us find that out. Elon Musk helped us find that out. But no, for real, let's keep it moving. I ain't trying to disrespect anyone. Shout out to everyone from every culture. Get me, let's go. That's a credibility, mate. No, no, I get what you say. I get what the juror is saying. Yeah, that's where credibility is the issue, but that's not where the credibility is. Credibility is when a story is being told, but it doesn't match the evidence. You understand? That's when its credibility is like in, not intact. You understand? So listen, you won't see. This is what Cabral is saying now. Like, like, you do it for 50 minutes and 50 minutes. You put them in one. It's just one thing. This is all of a sudden it's gone. And it was no, the second. Just four eyes. And you think, yes. So it goes from 91 to 90, so that was 99 to the, no, 97. Hold on. Let's go back for a few seconds. So 91, started got back in the game. Started back in the game. And 5, 99, after the so yeah, the situation was peace out, allegedly. The court, and then, the family situation, it's only all this, and then, never decided to go to 10 years. Which is that leads to from 2020. That's just the okay. The 21, okay, to the injury of M. To the complete episode, okay. But Quarrels. He, it was headline news. Well, it was on the news at the one point. So how did Charlemagne miss this one? Even the Godfather of one of Congress son. Yep, that's so good. Okay, now this is Kurt Boris now speaking. He said, I also am a victim on multiple levels with Sean Combs. I think I agree. So this now He's going to say, this is now this is now Kurt Boris speaking. So bear with me, people. Not only was he abusive to me, this is what Kurt Boris is saying. From a employer standpoint, he was also abusive to me in other ways. Allegedly, this is what that is. In what way? God. Next to the deviant ways. Hi. I'm so glad we're near the end. You know what? Yeah, especially and others. You're going to take to the side of them. What you are night, and on the side, you're going to take that. Like, the rest of the end, and it's just that you're taking it. And it's also exactly he even mentions orchestrated tie-in of Shakur. Listen, are you deep in this? He's a listen. This is interesting because for Kurt Burrows to say this, come on now, they even accuse him of ordering a hit on tied rapper Tupac Shakur. Basically, in the news report said the judge said this looks like it will be dismissed. Sean sometimes you're humiliated. Sometimes you're tired of good friends. For Greg Andre, oh, that's what he's saying. He was talking about Diddy Do It. He said, Kurt Boss is saying, I made the big mistake in my life. And, and you are over the secret. They're different about this afraid and she's afraid and been afraid and shit is afraid. Powerful people do scary things. And you know what's mad? Napoleon, aka Mutar, said something similar to Diddy regarding Diddy. Again, the dollar back. Look at that. This is 6,000. And so yeah. Um, what was I saying? So yeah, that's basic. And then what did he say? I forgot what he was gonna say. He said something. Yeah, he said, I believe, he said that he believes Diddy is a scary person to scare people to scare people. No, scare people to scary things. There you go. He remembers all the people that said no and the people that might side to them, and there's a price to pay for that. He's listened to that, and no, he's definitely a strong. These people that are first in class. I listen, please. They're not confident. You look at that too much, you're pretty safe. My purpose is the best. And my brother saying, please charge.
Hey yo, we've been streaming for that long. For that long. For that long. This is mad. So what we're gonna do is all right. I'm gonna mute this and continue playing. I'll just read the subtitles. It's fine. Said I don't want to wake up, but then I don't know who's speaking. This was so mad. I don't know what you said. I don't want to wake up, old and have not any regrets. He said that I don't even develop as a man. But he didn't develop as a man. I'm still in this movie, and we know how this is going to end. And I just plan to, and I just know I know the ending. Do you know the ending? A happy ever after. For who? Not you. Your victims are going to have a happy ever after. Okay, this is definitely the ending. And it says in 2025, Sean Combs was tried at a federal court on charges including RICO, trafficking, and in violation of Man Act. Of the Man Act. He was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in and under the Man Act and acquitted of remaining charges. Then it goes on to say he was sentenced to 50 months in prison with time served. All right, so Christina Coram denies all allegations made against her in the lawsuits involving her former boss, Sean Combs. You can deny it, but the evidence is there clearly, allegedly. Through her counsel, he said these false allegations of my involvement are causing irreparable and incalculable damage to my reputation and emotional well-being of myself and my family. Then fight in court about it. Fight for your innocence. Do it. I dare you, Christina Coram. I triple dare you. Or should I say double dare you because KK. Get it? Anyway, so Sean Combs has never been investigated or charged in connection with the plight of either the Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac Shakur. He has consistently denied any involvement in the loss of those lives. Um, as of airing, the civil case filed by Joe Dickinson Neal against Sean Combs remains pending. In the court filing, Combs denies ever being alone with Joy or engaging in any misconduct. He vehemently denies the allegation, calling him salacious. More than 100 civil cases have been filed alleging assault or related misconduct by Sean Combs. As of airing, 77 cases are pending. An additional civil. Hold on, me. As an additional civil claims have been filed against Sean Combs, he has continued to deny all allegations, just like it anyway. His civil attorney stated Mr. Combs categorically denies as false defamatory all claims that he abused anyone. He looks forward to vindicating himself in court. The filmmakers requested comment for Combs' team, but received no response by the end of production. So you can't. So Sean Combs' team can't be mad. Sean Combs, he can't be mad. The request was made. Anyway, let's get into the people that were involved. So directed by Alexandra Stapleton, uh, executive produced by Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. Executive produced by Alexandra Stapleton and Stacey Scripter as well. Executive produced by David Carabinas and Ariel Brozel and Brad Bernstein. And then the co-executive producer is Megan Wagan, supervising producer Vanessa Chances, executive post producer Alexandra Mistral, director of photography C.T. Robert, music by Pierre Charles, lead editor Jack Graviner, supervising editor Charles Divart, ACE, Evan Rice, ACE, editors Benji Cass, ACE, Adam Goldstein, Jonathan Miller, Jeremy Seifer, production manager Sarah Detailed, Tracy Fisher, additional cinematography Eve Cohen, Jack Corey, Bradley Credit, camera operators Magic Hoskins, Corey Hess, MJ Johnston, Peter. That's mad because I'll never think I'll see a triple another MJJ because there's Michael Joseph Jackson and there's Michael uh, Jeffrey Jordan. Now I'm saying MG Johnston, but is that Michael as well? Who knows? Anyway, Peter Johnston. Are they brothers? MJ Johnston and Peter Johnston. Anyway, Christopher Orin, Anna, Anthony Prince Leslie, Louise Romero, camera assistants Daniel Ajimian, Michael Bellardi, so I say Austin Blythe, Jay Dallin. There's a lot of people to go through. Scott Forte, Roman Hernandez, Daz Kennard, Jason Noel, Christopher Ramos, Jonathan Sandoval, Levi. Hey, you know about Mike Sandoval. If you know, you know. Power. So, let me go back to that. Hold on. All right, sorry, people. I got too carried away. Too carried away. Why am I even reading out the credits? All right, so where was that? I'm more or less finished anyway. Camera assistant Daniel, I said that. So Scott Forte, Roman Hernandez, Daz Kennard, Jason No, Christopher Ramos, Jonathan, excuse me, Samuel Leva, Ryan Shackfold, Melanie St. Clair, Matthew Vasquez, Esther Woodworth, Katie Zhang. Listen, I'm going through these to let you know that it's not just 50 Cent. Do you understand? It's not just 50 Cent. All right, digital imagery technician Callum Hatting, Nicholas Haytins, Andrew Hendricks, Heiteru Holm, Gilead Rudolph, Henry Zavala Pacheco, production side mixers Martin Bajora, Katrina Fairley, Braden Bronson, Jessica Jones, Louisa Shah Davis, Michael Stipe, Jose Villaman, Tidapen, Andrew Gomez, Gaffers. Gaffers is manager, isn't it? Anyway, Jackie's Ketchin, Michael Mislin, Suki Najoma, Godfred Ido, Ethan Federico, Tyler Johnson Williams, Keith Grips, um, Nicole Knight, Robbie Smitty Smith, Sam Carter, Andranik Griskian, um, Swing, Ike, Roach, or they might say Ike, but it's Ike. If you know, you know. Carl Schroeder, Schroeder, Christopher Widget, location managers. All right, so Just Show, Nate Show, Matthew Martinez, hair and makeup, Andre Samuels, Marie Cruz, Ariel Green, Priscilla Destasio, Charm Charmdea Deering, Ronald Ronnie Nahira, Kimberly Davis, Tiffany Garrett, Laura Rajuti, Vidi Chun, Louise Estrella, Valerie Harvey, Margarita Allen. The production coordinators JJ Behoverin, Rebecca Altenhofen, Christy Caranio, Jonathan Hall, Alexander Gold. Listen, I'm going through it, ain't I? I'm going through the whole lot of them. I told you. I told you this is what I'm going to do. All right? Because I respect everyone that does their job. Lead accountant, controller, Zero Bandari, payroll accountant, John McCrayon, assistant accountant, Lynette Najorianian. Okay, now consultants. Aubrey O'Day was one of the consultants. Yeah, Gregory Taylor, talent research producer, Mary Mapes, talent bookers, Lemont, Heath, and Lemont, Pete. Imagine the two Lemonts. Lead archival producer, Laura Lee Bird, archival producers, Emily Baker, Rachel Morrison, Liz Raphael, post production associate producer, Isabel Van Wy, researcher, Stephanie Benchin. See, researcher. All right. Lead assistant editor, Orlando Perez. Assistant editors, Brandon Brown, Michael Urez, Ricky Sanchez. Post production supervisors, Mike Sullivan, Slivon, should I say, Jonathan Petrusky. Transcribers, Stephanie Aranjo, Autumn Hardin, and production assistant Harrison Kane, Jennifer Chiquito, Ashley Elisa Cole, Justin DeVilla, Patrick Folan, Omar Garcia, Maxwell Hosfield, Robert Luis, Adam Morand, Carrie Marcel, more production assistant Nathan Moody. Damn, there's a lot of people that's involved with this documentary. James Riley, Judy Slack, Tanis Starr, Elijah Sullivan, all right. Simon Saminsky, Brandon Tejada. I should know that. Tejada, Power. There you go again. Mike Sandoval. If you know Sandoval. Anyway, forget that. Ivan Torres, Rebecca Uden, Austin Willard, Jake Wishard, and Dell service provider Frame One, confirm Christopher Allen, post production finishing services provided by Company Free, colorist James O. Brodovich, color assistant Melange Payard, finishing producer Crystal Anard, finishing coordinator Anthony Romagaria, deliverables producer Morgan Conrad, deliverable technician John Strauss. I shout out to everyone. I'm shouting out the whole team, accountant executive David Feldman, Cole Free, executive producer Stefan Sonfield, Pro Sound Services by Analog NY, supervisor sound editor, re-recording mixer Keith Holden CAS, dialogue editors Max Holland, Chris Strangon Room MPSE, sound designer FX editor Eric Di Stefano, music supervisor Sarah McQueenis Garesi, additional music Meredith and Zenema, um, Charles Paulino Aguirre, Jordan Hart, Vincent Ott, score mixed by four Feinberg, music editors Jason Warmer, Vanessa Parr, score coordinator Jewels Levy, Savage Music Productions, Savage, because this is a savage thing to do. Like, anyway. Listen, there's a lot to go through. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I've pretty much did a lot. I'm not gonna go through anymore. I can't even lie because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. But I guess what I will do in the next time, I'm gonna do like reaction videos, like post reactions to other people's reactions, like just the key individuals, like Delray Richardson. Get me? Pay attention to that because there's a lot to really go through. All right. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the whole docu-series? Because my initial thoughts here, just to round this up, just to properly round this up, end of the day, this wasn't a thing where it was just a narrative being pushed. Do you understand? This was a situation where they're letting you know this was a slow build-up that had a snowball effect. It didn't come out of nowhere. Do you understand? That's what it seemed like to me. And I could be completely wrong on my perception of this whole docu-series, but that's my take from it. All right. But let me know what your takes are. Let me know in the comments below. I feel like there's more coming. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like there's more. Because they didn't even get into the details in regards to other situations. Like Kim Porter situation. There might be a separate docu-series for that situation. You understand? That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Be on the lookout for the reopened case of Kim Porter. That may allegedly happen. And, Shakir Stewart, may he rest in peace. But listen, if you know, you know. Then you got Chris Lighty. If you know, you know. I'm not saying Diddy's involved in those situations, but his names are tied to those situations. Somehow, some way. Allegedly. But anyway, stay subscribed.